What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. And yo, what is happening, guys? We are finally getting these builds, these old builds. We are finally getting builds to these video games that we thought were lost to time. Like last time when I covered the build, like the Dead Island 2 build, which if you haven't seen that video will be in the link down below. And like the Dead Island 2 build, this is another early build I have, but this one's from the N64 era. The news around this has been circulating pretty wild, and if you don't know, Dinosaur Planet, an early build of Dinosaur Planet, has finally been discovered, and holy crap, this is pretty exciting. Now, if you don't know what Dinosaur Planet is, I'll briefly go over it. Rare was working on a game called Dinosaur Planet for the N64, and it got a lot of good press around it and good attention, so much so that even Shigeru Miyamoto took interest in it, stating that the main characters, both Crystal and Saber, the two characters in Dinosaur Planet, resembled Starfox, and they wanted to add Starfox into the game. Well, one thing led to another, and Dinosaur Planet just quickly became a Starfox game, and the game of Starfox that it turned into is the Gamecube game Starfox Adventures. So with that backstory out of the way, we finally got an early build of Dinosaur Planet, the game Starfox Adventure was originally going to be, and this is so cool. Not only is it cool because it's the original concept of Starfox Adventures, Dinosaur Planet, but it's also cool just to see an N64 game, new, I put that in quote, N64 game, surfacing in 2021. Now, I feel like I talked about some stuff in the Dead Island 2 build. I feel like I'm just gonna tell you my experiences with the Dinosaur Planet build. I have been playing it. I've played the build like 4 or 5 times, and for reasons I'll get into in a bit. But I figured we'll just go through it. Before we go, I want to know that the emulator I did this on is pretty trash. So you're going to see some missing textures and, you know, just some things that don't look right in the build. That is not the game's fault. That is me, and that is an emulator problem on my side. So, yeah. Well, starting this beta build out, you got this, you know, the opening credits where they show you all the copyright stuff, and that's, you know, really standard for games. And then you can make your own profile, which is cool, and you see there was 3 profiles in here, so I made my own. Well, after you select your name, the game jumps you into a cutscene, and at this point, the beta build is pretty much the same as the original Starfox Adventures, with you riding your pterodactyl, fighting the ship. In Starfox Adventures, obviously, it's more fleshed out, but here is, I like this a little bit more. And just like in Starfox Adventures, after you defeat the ship, you actually land on top of the ship. But unlike that game, this is actually where you have your first enemy encounter, because as soon as you land on the ship, you fight an enemy. Which is nice because it teaches you the combat controls right off the rip. So this is the part where in Starfox Adventures, right after you land on a ship, you would have to go downstairs and find the key. Well, however, in this game, you can just run straight over to the bird, because you actually don't get to have that part to where you can find the key to unlock it. The N64 build surprisingly has voice acting, and good voice acting at that, while passable for the time.
General Scale, ruler, tyrant, and dictator of the Sharpclaw tribe. And who might you be, animal girl?
My name is Crystal, and I've come for the princess.
You seem a long way from home, Crystal. I can't believe the wizard asked a girl to do his dirty work.
While Starfox Adventures just went for this garble, let's make up a language thing.
General Scales, Hiku, Kohud, Otaskuki, Eve Dinosaur Planet. Ud Neokraju, Ui Kimo Nekt.
Am Dek Kutsuho Kavorik Oi. Am Edko Kutsuho Rosvejo Evu Tashkov Zuk.
Utashkov Suk? Kiash Niko Koduk, Ash Atashkov.
It's also here where I want to say is that, wow, this game looks really good. And when I mean that, I mean it looks good for the N64. However, with that said, I also think it should be on N64, because I think the graphic support is aesthetically way better than the Gamecube did. So far at this point, you know, Starfox Adventures has did a really good job replicating the old build, except for the fleshing out the ship part. However, after the ship part, it gets into it completely original stuff. After another cutscene and the ship lands, you get to explore this one small little dungeon area, and it is a good first dungeon to get you familiar with the controls, get you familiar with how to use them and stuff like that. I like how it's set up, and I like how it's designed. I also love how when you walk down the stairs, you just see dead dinosaurs, and you're talking to one, and then the dude just dies right in front of you mid-conversation. It's pretty grim for an N64 game, I ain't gonna lie. The puzzles in there are pretty okay too. They're pretty much baby's puzzles, you know, first dungeon puzzles to get you all set up and ready to go. But after you do this, you meet up with this thing called a swap stone, and he pretty much explains that how two character stories are going on at the same time. So Crystal goes up into it, and then it swaps you over to Saber. However, Saber is Fox McCloud.
Hey, Scaleface! Pick on someone your own size! What? Who's that? I am Fox McCloud, Royal Knight of the Lilat system.
So it also really got me thinking, how late into development was this build, because it still had Fox instead of Saber, although the voice acting still said Saber and all. Saber's HUD is still there, complete intact. Also, it's at this point where I gotta mention is that this game is not stable at all, at least not on my emulator. I had this game crash on me on 3 separate occasions, and my god, let me say this, if you're actually trying to play this build and you're trying to save in a specific area, you save now. I can't tell you how many times I've forgot to save because I didn't expect the game to just suddenly crash on me, and I've had to go through the entire cutscenes all over again, the shit boss fight, Crystal's first dungeon, and all 3 cutscenes you have to go to before you get, no, 4 cutscenes that you have to go to before you can actually get to play as Fox. It's crazy, but when you actually get the Fox's part, you can actually see where Starfox Adventures takes a lot of concept design from this build, and that makes perfect sense. I don't know how much longer the build goes on. I actually got stuck in the Fox part, so I kind of just gave up. And I've looked up online, and it says people have only were showing the first 50 minutes, even though people have made past my point. I don't know how long the build is, but it's just even fantastic and amazing that we have this to begin with. It's so cool that all of these builds are finally coming out, and I'm just super excited. It gets me wondering, maybe we'll get a Conker's 12-tail build. Maybe that will come out, and oh my god, if that comes out, I will... Oh man, I don't know, but anyway guys, that is going to do it for this. It is very exciting that Dinosaur Planet is finally has the build out there now. You guys can find it. I'm not gonna support the whole this thing, so you gotta find it yourself, unfortunately. I'm sorry I'm being like that. But with all that said, I have an Instagram, I have a Twitter. You can follow me on the socials. I am getting more active on them, so please go follow them. There will be links in the description below. Also, hit that subscribe button. We're so close to 600 subscribers, and I think we can get it within this video time span of being out to whenever I make my next video. So let's get it. Say guys, you have a good night.
Utashkov Souk?